Nobody expected episode 8 to end like this. Waqin makes one desperate phone call. Mariano finally steps back into the story. And the episode 9 trailer hints that the final battle is much bigger than anyone imagined. But the biggest mystery isn't who starts the fight. It's who survives it. One small detail hidden in the trailer could completely change the ending of Season 1, and most viewers didn't even notice it. Episode 8 doesn't end with justice. Instead, it ends with frustration, desperation, and a decision that could change every character's future. Waqin spends the entire episode trying to stop Rob Will, believing that this time there is finally enough to expose him. After everything Rob Will has done throughout the season, it feels like this should be the moment when the truth finally catches up with him. But reality is much more complicated. Sheriff Wade refuses to make an arrest because there simply isn't enough evidence. There is no body that can directly connect Rob Will to murder. There are no reliable witnesses willing to testify. There is no undeniable proof that would stand in court. From the sheriff's point of view, making an arrest without evidence would only destroy the investigation. For Waqin, however, it feels like another crushing defeat. That disappointment becomes one of the most important moments of the season, because it forces Waqin to make a choice he has avoided for so long. Instead of continuing to fight alone, he reaches out to Mariano. At first, this might seem like a simple phone call, but it carries much more weight than many viewers realize. Throughout the season, Mariano has remained a mysterious figure. His name carries influence, yet he stays away from the conflict for most of the story. That distance creates an interesting question. Why would someone with so much authority choose not to interfere until now? The answer could be that Mariano has been watching everything unfold before deciding the right moment to step in. The trailer strongly suggests that this moment has finally arrived. As Mariano returns, the atmosphere immediately changes. Every conversation suddenly feels more dangerous because the conflict is no longer limited to personal revenge or ranch competition. It begins to look like something much larger is hiding underneath the surface. At the same time, Beth and Rip continue moving closer to the truth. Their original goal was simple. They wanted to understand why their ranch suffered such devastating losses. The infected bull, the forged paperwork, and the destruction of their herd already pointed toward a carefully planned operation. But now the trailer hints that these events may have been only one small piece of a much larger criminal network. One of the trailer's most memorable moments comes when Rip directly confronts Rob Will and demands to know if he is running drugs. That question changes everything. Until now, much of the conflict focused on cattle fraud and ranch disputes. If Rip is asking about drug trafficking, then he clearly believes the illegal activities go far beyond livestock. That possibility completely changes the stakes. If criminal smuggling is involved, then Rob Will may not actually be the person calling the shots. Instead, he could simply be managing one part of a much bigger organization. That idea also explains why so many dangerous decisions have been made throughout the season. Every attempt to silence witnesses or cover up evidence suddenly starts making much more sense if protecting a larger operation is the real priority. Meanwhile, Beth continues following her own instincts. One scene in the trailer shows her speaking with Beulah in what appears to be a deeply emotional conversation. Rather than threatening her, Beth seems to recognize something familiar in Beulah's situation. Her words suggest that both women understand what it feels like to become trapped by impossible choices. This scene could be one of the most important emotional moments of the finale. If Beulah has been living under pressure for years, then she may know secrets that nobody else does. She could have witnessed the rise of the illegal operation from the very beginning. She may even know who truly benefits from everything happening around the ranch. That possibility also changes how viewers see her character. Instead of being a willing participant, she may actually be another victim trying to survive inside a dangerous system. While these conversations unfold, Rob Will appears to be losing control. Earlier in the season, he acted with confidence because he believed nobody could stop him. Every time another obstacle appeared, he found a way to eliminate it. But now the trailer shows something different. His confidence appears to be fading as more people begin asking questions. Rip is investigating. Beth is connecting pieces together. Waqin refuses to stay silent. And Mariano is finally returning. All four storylines are now moving toward the same place. That is exactly why the finale feels so dangerous. Every major character seems to be heading toward one explosive confrontation where old secrets can no longer remain hidden. If even one person reveals the truth at the wrong moment, years of deception could collapse overnight. The trailer also hints at armed men gathering around the ranch, suggesting that words may no longer be enough to settle this conflict. If violence becomes unavoidable, every character will be forced to choose where they stand. Some will fight for justice, some will fight for survival. Others may fight simply to protect their own secrets. And when so many different motivations collide in one place, the outcome becomes impossible to predict. But perhaps the biggest question isn't whether a battle is coming. The real question is whether Mariano is arriving to save the situation, or to make sure that nobody who knows the truth ever gets the chance to speak again. Because if that is his real purpose, then Episode 9 may not end with justice at all. It may end with a betrayal that changes the future of Dutton Ranch forever. If there is one moment in the Episode 9 trailer that deserves more attention than any other, it is not the fight, the guns, or even Mariano's return. It is a quiet conversation between Beth and Beulah. At first glance, it looks like a simple emotional scene, but after watching it carefully, it feels like the writers are hiding something much bigger. Beth tells Beulah that she understands what it feels like to be trapped. That line may seem ordinary, but it changes the way we look at Beulah's entire story. Throughout Season 1, Beulah has often appeared to support Rob Will's decisions, even when those choices clearly hurt the people around her. Many viewers assumed she was simply protecting her family's power. But what if that isn't the whole story? It is possible that Beulah has never truly been in control. When Beth speaks to her, the conversation doesn't sound like two enemies arguing. Instead, it feels like one survivor recognizing another. Beth knows what it means to be forced into impossible situations. She understands how fear can make people stay silent. Because of that, her words almost sound like an invitation, giving Beulah one last chance to tell the truth before everything falls apart. If that interpretation is correct, then Beulah could become one of the most important characters in the finale. She may know who ordered the illegal shipments. She may know why forged documents were used against the Dutton Ranch. She may even know whether Mariano has been aware of everything from the very beginning. None of this is confirmed by the trailer, but the emotional tone of their conversation suggests there is much more being left unsaid than actually spoken. Another detail that many viewers may have overlooked is Mariano's dialogue. In the trailer, he says that the strangers will be sent packing. It is a short line, but it carries a powerful message. Notice that he doesn't sound surprised by what is happening. Instead, he speaks as though he already knows exactly who Beth and Rip are and why they have become a problem. That raises an interesting question. How did Mariano learn so much before even returning to the ranch? There are several possible answers. Someone could have been updating him the entire time. Another possibility is that he has been quietly watching events from a distance without revealing himself. Or perhaps there is another character working behind the scenes whose loyalty has not yet been revealed. If that is true, then the heroes may be facing an enemy who already knows their every move. That would also explain why the trailer creates such a strong feeling of urgency. Beth and Rip believe they are getting closer to the truth, but it is possible that the people they are investigating already know exactly what they have discovered. Sometimes the most dangerous enemy isn't the one holding a weapon. Sometimes it is the one who is always one step ahead. Another hidden clue appears during Rip's confrontation with Rob Will. Rip doesn't accuse him of stealing cattle or forging paperwork. Instead, he asks if he is running drugs. That is a very specific accusation. It suggests that Rip has either discovered new evidence or connected several clues that previously didn't seem related. Throughout the season, there have been hints that the ranch conflict involved more than livestock. Strange deliveries, suspicious behavior, and characters acting far too aggressively to protect what should have been a simple ranch business, all pointed towards something larger. If Rip has finally reached the same conclusion, then Episode 9 could reveal that the cattle fraud was only a cover for a much bigger criminal operation. That possibility would completely change the meaning of many earlier scenes. The infected bull may not have been just an act of revenge. The forged documents may not have been only about land ownership. The attacks against different characters may not have been personal at all.